What's up, y'all? It's Nate Richezz from the Masters of the Road. It's 2019, whole new year. We about to get into tour season. This year, I really wanted to kick knowledge and give knowledge to everybody that's really wondering what it takes to really be on tour, get on tour, and have a successful tour, which is most important. You know, sometimes it's not about making all the money. Sometimes it's about breaking even, and sometimes you even lose a little bit of money, trying to put a tour together. But this whole segment is really about knowing when it is the right time and just making it most effective for you. All right, when is the right time for touring? So the right time for touring is when you really have 2 to 3 singles really circulating. You have engagement online. You have streams coming in. Touring now has become the culmination of things. So once you have your online together, once you really have all those things in place, then these artists are now hitting the road. The reason being is when artists were doing promotional tours and things before, you were spending a lot of money. Okay, you spend a lot of money to try to really touch people one-on-one. And what happened was there was a lot of rise of artists who were actually getting their notoriety from being online. The phones, these right here, have become like our TVs, you see what I'm saying? So you can touch literally like probably 10 times more people than you can at an actual show or on an actual tour leg. So that's why a lot of artists are really focusing on the touring leg after they really put in their merchandising, their publishing, their social media campaigns, because they want to make sure when they get on that final tour, that final leg, that it's actually super beneficial for them and they're seeing all the benefits. If you're not getting enough engagements and not really, how can I put it, clouded up yet, what I would suggest is that you really do a lot of hometown shows, really focus on building a monetized brand, seeing if you could work with the promoters to get ticket splits and things of that sort, because what happens with that is once you start monetizing on your brand, fans start actually realizing the value behind your brand. Okay, so a lot of times artists want to do free music and do free shirts and free hats and all that stuff. That's cool, but guess what happens? You start to create this a stigma that this brand, everything that comes with this brand comes for free, and you don't want to do that. You want to monetize. We're doing this not as a hobby, but to really build up a efficient music business. Markets. When a market is really following you and really in tune with you by checking over all your stats on your streaming sites, your Instagram, your YouTube. All these outlets have ways that you can actually check to see who's listening to you, where they're from. Okay, you want to make sure that all your promotion is organic. Everything in these outlets is super organic, and that way you'll get reports back that can actually show you who's in tune with you, and from there you place either standalone shows, all right, if you're building up, or if you're a touring artist, you definitely want to hit these markets on your tour leg. Make sure that you put good impressions in that area. So first things first, when I'm looking to do a tour, I'm looking for sponsors, okay? I'm looking for brands that are looking to tap into our demographic, the people that are coming to our shows. We go ahead and we actually show these brands that, hey, you're trying to sell this XYZ product. These people are here at our shows, willing to take a test at your product and willing to have an impression on your product. And that's the best bet when you're setting up tours. And if you have those impressions on the streaming, if you have the impressions on Instagram with the engagements and stuff like that, these brands have no problem cutting you a check, okay? Whether it be $500, $100, $1,000, no matter what it may be, it could cover something on your tour. So the sponsors are very important, making sure that they're happy, making sure that their banners are set up, whatever you agree to make sure that their brand is seen at the events. You guys cover that beyond and beyond, because the continued relationship is the beauty. After you do the sponsors, then you would get into venues, okay? Each venue has different situations, okay? Some of them require a rental fee, some of them require a bar guarantee, some of them do ticket splits and book their own shows with the artist. It depends on where you are at in your career. What I usually say is take the time first to really put in a good social media campaign and to really work the streaming sites, okay? As long as you know where your fans are, you are super duper good, okay? Just don't try to take on markets that you're experimenting in and things like that, because it's not going to be beneficial. All right, you want to make sure that you're monetizing, make sure that when you go to these cities you can do an in-store and people are actually going to show up and things. You know, we gotta look good on camera, and if it's not recorded, if it's not shown, it never happened in this industry, okay, where we're at right now. So you want to make sure that every venue that you select is definitely a venue that's in your market. Number two, in your budget, and you're getting the right situation for the show. Travel and housing, all right? Oh man, this one right here is too funny. I remember the days when, you know, I was first on the road with some of the execs from, you know, RCA, and, you know, having to sleep on the cots and, you know, having to sleep in the cars and things like that, you know, because, you know, the travel and housing when you're starting out, it's not as beautiful as everybody makes it seem. Sometimes to pull off, you know, the tours that you want to pull off and, you know, really get your brand out there, sometimes it has to be 3 to a room, 4 to a room. You know, sometimes you guys have to put 5 in a car. It's not always Mercedes-Benz Sprinters and things like that. So I always say with travel and housing, look at the budget. Look what you guys have from sponsorship. Look what the team has come up with through, you know, the different revenue lanes of the business, and see, you know, what is the best scenario. Me personally, I like Airbnb. A lot of the places that we travel and we go, we stay at Airbnbs. We don't have to leave deposits on the hotels. Also, with the Airbnbs, like a lot of them are super cool. So, you know, they have like a unique setup, which you could go in the actual Airbnbs and shoot music videos, you know, do photo shoots and things like that. So each city, make the experience unique. Use every minute of time to work. Think creative. Creative and consistent equals results all the time. So proper tour promotion. Proper tour promotion be including a lot of people from your hometown. If it's a hometown show, if it's an out of city show or out of state show, definitely want to make sure you include DJs, artists, tastemakers from that area. They're willing to come out. I mean, hit these people up on Instagram. I'm a real big person of, you know, communicating through Instagram, building relationships through Instagram, because people can see the catalog, they can see the backlog, they can see what you're doing, how hard you're working, and really put a face to the brand and the music, okay? That's one thing that I would say is proper promotion. If you're going to out-of-state market, you know, make sure it's not next week, all right? Make sure that you have some time before the gig to really talk to people through Instagram, the tastemakers, and also make sure you can put in promotions in those areas, okay? So Instagram ads, Facebook ads, working with some of the DJs to see if they can actually promote you on their grams and things like that. Really making sure that by the time you hit those cities in, say, 3 weeks, people are already like, oh shoot, I think I saw that name before, I saw that person. And that's when you really start to get to gain traction. It's all about mindshare. I'll be honest with you, when I see artists, it takes me like 3 or 4 times to see their names to actually click on the link, okay? I'll give you an example, like Blueface. Everybody was telling me like, yo, Blueface, you gotta check out Blueface. And it wasn't until like 3 or 4 times, I think I was in an Uber and he had XM radio on, and I saw the Blueface with his record, you know, Tatiana on there. And when that record started playing, I was like, all right, cool. He was okay, you know what I'm saying? But it took that 3rd or 4th impression for me to really be like, all right, cool, phase, name, song, you know? It's all about recognition. As far as travel, I'm an American Airlines boy. So, I mean, I really support American Airlines. Definitely sign up for AA Advantage. Track all your mileage, you know, no matter what airlines that you fly with, make sure that it's the same one. And when you build up this mileage, it will allow you in the middle of the year, towards the end of the year, to really fly to places for free, okay? Use your mileage to, you know, put towards flights, do video shoots, meet with producers, working in the city. It's a hometown effort, but, you know, once you move out of the hometown, and it's really where you really see the benefits, okay? So you want to make sure that, you know, not all of the eggs are in one basket, but you know, you're spreading them all over the place, okay? Special guests on tour are great. I mean, if you could really get some of the big acts from the cities that you're hitting to support, be a part of your tour, you're automatically gonna win, okay? It's cross collaborations, cross promotion. Your fan base sees them, and their fan base sees you. And that's what you really want to do on this tour. You want to use all these components to really put impressions on your name. And in the long run, what's going to happen is people are going to watch you and see what you do after that tour. Opening acts. I mean, same thing as a special guest. The opening acts are very important. Make sure that you're selecting the right opening acts when you're touching the city, even in your hometown. Make it a business. Give ticket splits. Allow these artists to make money, sell merch, really expand their brand through your brand. And by you doing that, you'll definitely reap a lot of benefits. One thing that my dad used to say is, letting somebody else's light shine will never dim yours. And, that it's a great line that, you can take from with something like this, because essentially you can give 10 people, the spotlight, and guess who gets the ultimate spotlight? You. Monetization on the road, okay? Very, very important, all right? A lot of times when artists are out of town on the road or moving, touring, a lot of the revenue lanes that they have back home are not necessarily open anymore, okay? Give you an example. If you have a 9-to-5 job, okay? If you have a trap job, okay? If you have a self-business, no matter what you have, if you are not present, you don't have any type of revenue coming in, or not as much as you would if you were present. So it's very important when you're on the road to monetize, okay? And the way that we do that is merchandising, appearances, features, okay? Very simple, selling the merchandise. You want to sell the merchandise, you want to get it out. It's probably the biggest profit margin besides appearances and features, okay? So, those $20, $30 profits on those hoodies, those sweaters, those sneakers, those hats, they start to add up. And you want to make sure that every night that you're on the road, you have a shop set up for people to come buy. If they can't buy in cash, they can buy with credit card. We're out of stock. We have iPads there where they can order online. Complete business, okay? And that's how you want to set this up. Appearances, okay? We're in other cities, okay? So people will see us and say, all right, cool. I know that record. That guy's from South Carolina. All right, he's in Atlanta. Let's book him. All right, very, very important aspect to the music business is actually promoting the records and getting appearances. It works hand in hand. Also, too, it could be a nice little check. All right, you go in there, you do a walkthrough, half an hour. All right, you go in there, you do a performance, half an hour of the walkthrough. The other half an hour, you're working on your performance, hyping up the crowd. It's all, being a politician. I tell everybody, you gotta shake the hands and kiss the babies, okay? And that's what you really want to build up once you're on the road. Utilizing Instagram is one of the key components to a tour. Literally, it is the key to getting towards the people that you want to really network with when you're on tour. The radio DJs, you got executives that live in certain cities, regional people. So this is your chance really on Instagram to send them a little something. They might not bite on the first or second bite, but if you're continually working and you're developing tours and you're really creating a great music business for yourself, trust me, they're gonna watch. One thing that nobody wants to do in the music industry that has some type of say so, they don't want to miss out on anything, okay? They watch, they see, and the moment that they feel that something is really, really worth it, they're gonna jump on it. That's why, I'll give you this tidbit. Never beg for support. The support is gonna come. Just work. Sometimes people want to see you work, because when you start working and you start, distancing yourself, what happens is people don't ever want to feel like they're disconnected. And from there, you can actually start taking, close people in your circle, fans, and now they start to become part of the team. They start to get jobs and do certain things for you because they see you moving. So definitely take that tidbit, get on your Instagrams, really set the standard, really, start the connections for yourself. Even if you have a manager, it doesn't matter. Sometimes the manager's job is not always to motivate you. Sometimes you got to come up with things to motivate the manager and motivate your team and get your team eager to really support you and work for you because they see you setting the standard. The power of pre-promotion, so important. You probably see with the artists that I have right now, Sarawana. A lot of the shows that we're doing are out of state, territories that we probably never been to, never touched, never tackled. So what we're working on right now is what we call pre-promotion. And that's putting promotion in these cities before we even hit them, okay? April 25th, we'll be in Arizona. Right now, we're making sure that we're putting a lot of promotions in that area, hitting the college campuses in that area with physical promotion, talking to certain DJs out there, talking to models, talking to anybody that's in that area and is doing something big or small. The reason being is, when it comes to that time and we're out there, guess what happens? Everybody pulls up and it's like family, all right? So really take the time, the due diligence to go out and really make connections, not only in person, but through Instagram and digitally as well. So this episode of MOTR Talks was actually sponsored by Indie Map app. I thank you guys for tuning in. I go by the name of Nate Richezz VIII. Make sure you follow at Masters of the Road. Check out mastersoftheroad.com on Instagram. And man, we'll be back again, definitely soon. All right.